The plan was simple. I was supposed to be in Denver for a 3-day business conference. My company had been pushing for more client-facing presence, so I booked the flight, packed a suit, and left Naomi with a kiss on the forehead and a half-hearted joke about not burning the house down. The morning I flew out, the conference got postponed due to weather. I was already in the air. By the time I landed, it felt pointless to stay. So I decided to head back early. Maybe surprise Naomi. Maybe finally get some time together. We hadn't really connected in months. I didn't text her. Figured it'd be fun to just walk in with takeout and see the look on her face. It was 6:45 p.m. when I pulled into our driveway. Naomi's car was there. So was a black Range Rover I didn't recognize. At first I figured it might be her friend Tara. She drove something similar. I grabbed the Thai food I picked up on the way and headed in through the side door. That's when I heard her voice. "No, he's clueless," Naomi laughed. "Larry still thinks I'm just working late every Tuesday and Thursday." Bless his boring little heart. There was a pause. Ice clinked in a glass. "I swear to God," she continued, "if Damon didn't have a girlfriend, I'd just leave Larry tomorrow. But you know how men are. They say they'll leave. They don't." Another voice, definitely Tara's, let out a sharp laugh. "Girl, you're ruthless." "I'm just realistic," Naomi said. "Larry's a nice guy, but he's safe. Damon's the one who makes me feel alive." I didn't move. I just stood in the mudroom, frozen. The takeout bag was getting heavy, but I couldn't feel my arm. They kept talking, but I'd stopped listening. I turned around, backed out quietly, and closed the door without a sound. I drove to a gas station 2 towns over and sat in the car with the engine off. I wasn't mad yet, not sad either. I just felt something shift. I ended up at my friend Kenneth's house by 9 p.m. He opened the door with a beer in his hand, confused as hell. "Weren't you in Denver?" "Conference got canceled," I said. I walked past him and sat down on his couch. My hands were still shaking, but my voice came out steady. Kenneth sat across from me and waited. "Naomi's been cheating," I said. He blinked. "With who?" "Some guy named Damon. She said his name 3 times like it was normal." I told him what I heard, word for word. I even remembered the tone in her voice when she called me safe, like it was an insult. Kenneth just sat there for a minute, then slowly shook his head. He leaned back and let out a low whistle. "Jesus, what are you going to do?" "Nothing," I said. He stared at me. "You serious?" "Yeah, I'm not going to yell. Not going to confront her. Not yet. I want to see how deep this goes." He looked like he wanted to argue, but didn't, just nodded slowly. While he cracked open another beer, I was already outlining my next moves in my head. I wasn't being a doormat. I was being smart. If I exploded now, it'd be emotional, sloppy. She'd cry, deny, twist it, maybe even flip it on me. But if I waited, watched, documented, collected, I'd be the one in control when the dust settled, not her. So I stayed at Kenneth's a couple more days. Naomi still thought I was in Denver. No reason to ruin the illusion. While she'd carry on like nothing was wrong, I'd be digging. Bank statements, credit card history, phone records, anything I could get my hands on. I didn't want suspicions. I wanted facts. "Tuesday and Thursday nights," she'd said. "Every week." That wasn't a fling. That was a routine. A second life. And it had probably been going on far longer than she'd ever admit. Kenneth handed me a beer, but I barely touched it. He asked if I was okay. I wasn't. Not yet, but I would be. I stayed up most of the night on his couch, staring at the ceiling fan spin in slow, quiet circles, mapping out the next phase. This wasn't about getting even. It was about ending this on my terms. By Monday morning, I was back in the house, pretending like nothing had happened. Naomi didn't suspect a thing. She gave me a tired smile and said, "You're back early." "Yeah," I said, dropping my bag. "Flights got messy with the weather." She kissed me on the cheek, made a half-hearted joke about bad airport food, and went back to scrolling through her phone. That night, while she was in the shower, I went looking. Started in the walk-in closet. Nothing unusual, just clothes, shoes, the usual disorganized chaos. Then I checked her bathroom vanity. 3rd drawer down, buried under makeup bags and random junk. A second phone. It was subtle, tucked beneath a stack of folded cotton pads and an old travel case. Locked, of course. 4-digit code. I tried her birthday. Nothing. So I went with something stupidly obvious. 4 digits she used for everything. Our garage code, her Netflix PIN, the last four of her old phone number. It unlocked, and just like that, everything was right there. Texts, photos, videos, hotel names, gym meetups, restaurant bills. It didn't take long to start putting the pieces together. From the messages, I figured out Damon was her personal trainer. There were photos of them at her gym, then later at a nearby hotel. He was the one she started seeing after signing up for those evening strength sessions last fall. One string of messages from 2 weeks ago hit hard. He made lasagna again. He thinks it's my favorite. I don't even like it anymore, she told him. That's cold. When you leaving him? Damon replied. Soon. Just want to secure the house in my name first. I sat back and stared at the screen. The house. She wanted our house. Over the next few days, I went into full ghost mode. Every chance I got, I dug deeper, pulled our joint bank statements, found charges to a boutique hotel 20 minutes from our house. One Thursday a month, going back over a year. I copied everything onto a USB drive, labeled and dated. Kenneth helped me open a new account under my name and slowly moved half our savings. The lawyer I hired, Clarissa, didn't blink when I laid it all out. She'd seen it before. More than I expected, honestly. Her advice was direct. Don't confront Naomi yet. The more I let her think I was still in the dark, the stronger my position would be when it mattered. I told her I wanted the cleanest, most airtight exit possible. She told me exactly how to build it, quietly, methodically, and with no warning. Naomi started getting affectionate, cooking dinner, cuddling on the couch, even bringing up a trip to Puerto Rico, just the two of us. I smiled and nodded, said, "That sounds great." Meanwhile, I was already planning my way out. I spent the next 2 weeks laying bricks for the blow I was about to deliver. Every move had to look natural. Naomi thought we were reconnecting. I let her think that. Let her lean into the fantasy. On the surface, I was the husband trying to rekindle things. But underneath, I was tightening every bolt. I rented a small storage unit on the edge of town under a different name. Slowly moved over my important stuff. My dad's tools, the watch he left me, old photo albums, even a few pieces of furniture. Whenever Naomi asked why something wasn't where it usually was, I'd say I moved it into the garage while cleaning. She didn't notice half the time. The biggest win came from a coincidence. I found Damon's girlfriend. Her name was Alicia. She worked at a floral shop 10 minutes from my office. I only found her because Damon had posted a photo tagging her on Instagram, some blurry picnic shot with a blessed caption. I paid her a visit on a slow Tuesday afternoon. "Hi, you don't know me," I said, "but I think you should see something." I handed her a small envelope with printouts. Naomi and Damon at a hotel lobby, a text exchange that said, "Enough." Alicia's face went blank. "I'm sorry," I said. "I figured you deserved to hear it from someone neutral." She nodded. Didn't cry. Just asked, "How long?" "Over a year that I can prove." She stared at the photos for a long moment, then said, "Thank you," and walked back inside. Naomi, meanwhile, was busy planning her birthday party. Big deal every year. She invited her parents, friends, some clients, about 30 people. Catered, full bar, rented staff. But this time, it wasn't at a venue. The party was happening at our house, on the rooftop deck above our living room. We'd renovated it last summer, Naomi's pet project. Teak flooring, glass railing, overhead lights, custom furniture. She called it her little slice of Santorini. This party was her way of showing it off. "Maybe this year will be different," she said one night while flipping through flower arrangements. "Maybe this time next year we'll have a little one running around." I smiled and took a sip of wine. The divorce papers were already signed and sitting in my desk drawer. And her party? It was going to be unforgettable. Naomi's birthday landed on a Saturday. Sunny, high 70s. Perfect weather for the rooftop event she'd been obsessing over for weeks. By late morning, everything was set. The rooftop was staged like a magazine spread. Candles, white tablecloths, floral centerpieces, bartenders in matching black aprons. I played the part. Pressed shirt, polite smile, small talk with her dad. Looked like the perfect husband helping host the perfect party. By 1:15 p.m., Naomi was already on the rooftop taking photos, makeup done, smiling like she owned the place. I slipped into my office downstairs and sent 5 emails. Each one included photos, messages, receipts, everything. One to her parents, one to Alicia, one to her business partner, one to her best friend Tara, and one to Damon's gym, addressed to his manager. The subject line was the same on every email. If you thought you knew Naomi, maybe take another look. By the time I got back on the rooftop, phones were buzzing. Conversations slowed. People started whispering. Naomi didn't notice. She was too busy getting posed for photos by the flower wall she spent a week designing. Then Alicia arrived. Damon showed up minutes later, walking up the steps with a bottle of champagne in one hand and a stupid grin on his face. He barely made it onto the deck before Alicia intercepted him. She raised her voice, calm but loud enough for everyone to hear. "Tell everyone how long you've been sleeping with a married woman." Silence dropped like a bomb. Naomi froze. Damon blinked like he couldn't process what just happened. Then I sent Naomi a text, "Everything you're about to lose is on the kitchen counter. Happy birthday." I walked downstairs, placed the divorce papers on the marble countertop, grabbed my bag, and walked out the front door. I stayed at Kenneth's that night. We ordered wings, watched the game, barely spoke. I didn't need conversation. I just needed silence that didn't lie to me. Meanwhile, Naomi's world collapsed. Tara texted me the next morning. "Bro, what did you do?" "She's a wreck. Half the guests left before the cake even came out." Apparently, the scene between Alicia and Damon hit harder than I expected. She didn't just call him out, she detonated the whole party. Naomi cried. Damon left. Clients ghosted. Her dad walked out without saying a word. Naomi never saw it coming. She tried calling me that night. 12 times. Left voicemails that started angry and ended begging. The next morning she showed up at Kenneth's place. He answered the door, looked her dead in the eye, and said, "Not here," before shutting it in her face. Over the next 2 weeks, her mask kept cracking. I had her locked out of our shared accounts. My lawyer froze any movement on the house title. Naomi tried to stall, said she needed more time. But legally, she had no claim to the property. Eventually, she moved into a short-term rental. Word got around fast. Real estate clients canceled meetings. Her Instagram following dropped. Mutual friends distanced themselves. Everyone suddenly remembered that Naomi had always been a little fake. Damon disappeared, stopped replying to her messages, blocked her number, probably saving face, or running damage control with Alicia. Either way, he went ghost. Naomi texted again. "Please, I messed up. I didn't mean to lose everything. I just didn't think you'd leave." I didn't reply, because that's the part she never understood. I wasn't safe. I was patient. 6 months passed. The divorce was finalized. I sold the house. Too many memories in those walls. Some good, most not. I didn't want to carry any of it into the next chapter. I settled into my new place. Nothing fancy, just a 2-bedroom condo with a decent view of the lake and a front door no one else had a key to. The silence didn't bother me anymore. It felt earned, like I'd fought for it. I didn't follow Naomi on social media, but word still reached me through Kenneth and others. She was quiet now. No more selfies with fake captions. No more brunch photos. Just silence. Then, one Saturday, I ran into her at Lowe's. I was picking up wood sealant. She was holding a couple paint swatches. We locked eyes in the aisle between lighting fixtures and wall sconces. She looked smaller, tired. Not like the Naomi I knew, or thought I knew. "Hey," she said, cautious. "Hey, can we talk?" I hesitated, then nodded. We sat on a bench near the exit. Her hands were folded tight in her lap. "I wanted to say sorry," she started. "Not the performative kind. I mean it." I didn't interrupt. "I wasn't fair to you," she went on. "You were good to me. Better than I deserved, honestly. I was bored, stupid. I wanted to feel wanted. And Damon, he was just a distraction. I thought I had time to clean it up before it blew up." "You gambled," I said. "You lost." She nodded. "I know. And I deserve that." There was a long pause. "I got a job offer in Phoenix," she said. "I'm moving next week, starting over." "Good," I said. "Clean slate." She stood up, then hesitated. "For what it's worth, I did love you. In my own way." "I know," I said. "That was the problem. We didn't hug, didn't shake hands. She just walked out with her swatches, and I never looked back." That night, I sat on my balcony. No calls, no texts, no chaos. I poured a drink, watched the sky change color, and felt something I hadn't felt in months. Peace. Not because she was gone, because I was free. Thank you for watching.